This is Waste to Wealth, a podcast about turning your waste hauling business into a profitable, scalable, cash flowing machine. And now, here's your host, Michael McCall.
Oh, hey, is Gabe here? Oh, yeah.
Mr. Mike.
Hey, what's up? Good to see you.
How are you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm terrific, man. California, how's California?
You know what? It's sunny this morning.
Well, it's supposed to be sunny California, so that makes sense.
Yeah, sunny California. It's looking good, man. It's warming up a little bit, so not too much, but the sun's out there.
Yeah,
so it's good, man. How
well,
you
same
doing?
thing. Same thing in North Carolina. It's getting warm. It was really cold this morning.
Really?
But yep, it's heating up though, so we like that.
Nice,
Yeah.
man. Nice.
Yeah, I like your videos and your what you're posting, and you must be in such good shape, lifting all that heavy stuff, moving couches, and I saw a paddle boat.
You know what? I'm not in the best shape.
No, you got big muscles. You got big muscles.
I try. I try to get out there, but you know what? You know what I started to do, Mike? I started to change my lifestyle.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, fitness is one of them. You can't
Really?
tell, but I became very self-conscious about that for that reason too. Mm-hmm. You're always active, you get tired right away. So, now it's like, let's get a little bit active, get the pump, pump and go from there, man.
Well, I fully believe that. I started working out every day this year. So that's like,
nice.
I guess you call it my New Year's resolution. And I've never, I guess I haven't felt this good since I was 20. I'm in my 40s now. And
there you go.
Yeah, and actually, I started getting into sports. So I went to rugby training yesterday, and I've been playing Australian football. Yeah, I'm not a big guy, so I don't know if I'm gonna do a little bit of training. I don't know how to tackle people. They're so much bigger than me.
You got to get fast. That way they can't tackle you.
Right. Yeah. I guess that's the idea.
Fast, right.
But dude, even the strong guys are fast. So
yeah.
I got to do both. I'm lifting weights now. So, but I'd rather, it's nice to have a profession where you just get strong automatically. So that's why I'm, impressed by what you're lifting. You're just automatically getting stronger.
You know what? I just get to it, man. I see a couch in there and there's got to be a way to throw it in there and just think about it and then just toss it in there, and
by yourself.
Yeah. I still don't turn green, like the Hulk, but
yeah,
I try, man. I try to get it in there,
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Well, welcome. This is our podcast. So welcome to the podcast.
Oh, man.
And for anyone that's listening, this isn't live. We'll post this later. But you and I met at a conference, the Docket Conference.
Yes, sir. Nashville.
Docket's a really great junk removal and dumpster software, and they're also doing porta-johns now. So they do a bunch of different things, and I love it. And I'm wondering how it's working out for you. We can talk about that in a little bit. But why don't we? I put some things I want to talk about in the comments here.
Okay.
And the first thing I want to do is talk about your business and promote your business, because you want to help more people, right? And that's why you're doing this, right? So tell me about your business, who you help, and how they can get a hold of you if they want you to.
So again, if you don't know me, my name is Gabe Mendoza. The owner of A1 Junk Xpress. We're based out of here in California, a little town called Atwater, Merced County. So we try to serve the whole Merced County, Stanislaus County. And our goal is our community. We don't iterate a lot with the community as of now, but we try to work our way. But our main goal is to be involved with the community 100%, as we go. Every conference that we go to, like when we met over there at Docket, I picked up a lot of good nuggets.
Yeah.
Last week, out here in California, we had the Junk Expo.
Nice.
A lot of great guys, getting out there, gave their information. Picked up a lot of good stuff from there and a lot of stuff that we're going to implement into our business as far as, creating a culture that's going to help our community, our clients, and just keep growing. And the way they can get a hold of us is through our phone number is 209-800-3800. And, you call us and we'll go ahead and answer and we'll take care of whatever junk or dumpster you need.
Call A1 Express and get it taken care of, right?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
You call it and we haul it.
You call, we haul.
That's it.
So I love the conferences. That's a great way to find other people that have already solved problems that
Yeah.
you're dealing with. And at the point you are at now, you probably have gone through a lot of trial and error to figure stuff out. So how did you get started? Like what got you into the junk hauling business in the first place?
Well, Mike, I've been in the trades. I was in the trades right out of high school. I didn't graduate high school. So I had to do something. I went into the trades, to the construction trades,
Mhm.
and did that for about, for about 20 years, and 2021, early 2021, my dad was a truck driver. My dad retired, so my dad went to go help me out. A
Okay.
couple of days. Was that while I was doing a little odds and ends here, my
Yeah.
dad was out there. I had a little dump trailer, and the purpose of that dump trailer was to keep my job sites clean. So one day, my dad was cleaning some stuff. A neighbor came out, asked him if he wanted to get rid of some stuff. If he could help him out. My dad said sure. So my dad was in the dump. He went to go throw that stuff away. The neighbor came out and paid my dad, $100. He's like, here. And my dad gave it to me, and I was like, no, you could keep them. But what that created a spark in my head, and I was like, okay, wait a minute.
Mhm.
Like this, oh man, this guy was okay. Is there a business for this? And the whole we were about an hour and a half away from our home. We were Carmel by the sea, here by Monterey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we were the whole drive home. I was just kind of thinking, like, man, there has to be a market. I can't wait till I get home, go to YouTube, and start looking, see if there's actually people doing that.
Mm.
And come to find out, man, Sonoma Strong Haul was they were all over the place on YouTube. So I just started listening and listening, and slowly, man, started leaving construction and diverting into the junk removal industry, and
Mm.
eventually into the dumpsters. And now we offer both services.
Beautiful. So you did it like in phases. It started as a side hustle and then it grew and then you stopped doing trades.
Correct. Yeah. So I started as a side hustle, because I didn't know if it was going to work or not,
Right.
if it was going to work or not. So we branded ourselves as Junk or Haul It back then.
Mhm.
And then, this year we rebranded. We were getting a lot of calls for I would assume what for hot shots to deliver other materials that we don't. We just
Yeah.
remove junk and we're deliver a dumpster. So we rebranded into A1 Junk Express. But yeah, it basically started as a side hustle, and I still kept doing what I was doing, like as far as side work, construction work, and stuff like that. And I used that to finance a lot of my equipment, buy more trailers, buy another truck. I know a lot of people get in debt, but
Right.
I don't want to get in debt. So whatever I can buy cash, I'll cash it out, and
Mhm.
and once I get the ball rolling exactly where I feel like I know it's coming enough, then I
Yeah.
could go ahead and start making big purchases. But for
Well,
the meantime, buy it cash, and I don't feel it that bad with that monthly payment.
yeah,
But that's
that's really, really wise because the temptation is to just buy a bunch of equipment
right.
and then hope that you make enough money to pay for the debt and, keep some for yourself. And
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this, man. When we were in Nashville, man, at the Docket Expo, meeting other people, I mean,
yeah.
um, I thought I was decent, until I find out that there's people with 100 cans,
Mhm.
100+ cans. I was like, oh man, I only got three right now. I'm like,
Right.
man, like I can't compete with these guys, But you know what it is? What it does show you is a possibility.
Mhm.
It's this is what's out there. Do
Right.
you want to scale, or do you want to stay where you're at right now? So
Yeah, and there's all different types of ways to be successful. Depends on your target customer and how much you want to work and how much of a team you want to have. I met one gentleman. He didn't have that many cans. I don't. It might have been 10. So he had a low number of cans, which is, I would think that would limit how much you can do. But he had this method where he just did 1 day rentals. You could only rent his can for like one
oh
day, and he'd do like 100 rentals a week or something like that with 10
oh
cans.
God,
Or the number was outstanding. I didn't believe him. I was like, how do you have to tell me how that works?
it was on rotation all day.
Yeah. So I mean, if he had 10 cans, I guess he would do like technically he could do 70 a week technically, right? If you have 10 cans, you do one day.
One
But
day, yeah.
the rentals he was doing with those cans was outstanding. They were just turning over and over and over again.
Right.
And I had a business and I had 200 cans, and sometimes they would sit for 2 months or longer. I had one can that sat for like 6 months and didn't move, and that thing didn't make me any money. So
Right.
that
So
was,
see, that's what I'm afraid of. Like if I go ahead and make this big purchase, like
yeah,
are they just gonna be sitting there or are they gonna be on rotation all the time?
right.
And to have them financed and not generating any money,
Mhm.
like it's coming out of your pocket at that
Yeah.
time.
Well,
So
when the price of steel, I remember back in, I think it was 2022 or something like that, the price of steel jumped up pretty high. And so the way that me and a bunch of other people responded was instead of in order to keep up with business, instead of just buying more cans for the demand, we just shortened how long we rented things for the current
right.
price. We're like, all right, the price is similar, but we're moving from like what would normally be a 2 week rental became a 1 week.
Okay.
That was
Just
just
gotta
how we had to adjust.
just change the method of how your process of renting and all that stuff, huh? So
Right.
just adjusting.
Yeah, they could keep in my world, they could keep it longer, but we charge them more for that than we used
Right.
to. Like
Right.
because everyone's got a different method. I know some guys that charge by the day. I don't know. I'm curious how you charge, but we had three. I guess I'll tell you what we did. We had three different metrics. We had a weekly rental, a 2 week rental, and then a monthly rental. That was included in the price depending on where you were. So if you were like our favorite kind of customer, you were a home builder or a big contractor, you needed that dumpster for like a month at least.
Right.
And so the price included a month, and then after the month we would charge you by the day. Um, and and then if we emptied it, we'd reset. But if you were a small guy, like a residential person that's just doing a house clean out,
Mhm.
actually, I think it was only 3 days. We changed it to 3 days. You had like a weekend to clean it out and then to use it. And if you didn't use it after that, it was a daily charge. And that was a higher daily charge. I think it was like $15 a day versus 5.
I see.
So yeah. But what do you do? I'm curious what your pricing
So,
structure is.
so I learned when I got into the dumpsters, man. I learned early on because again, you're looking at YouTube videos, you're looking at picking
Yeah.
other people's brains, and kind of see, how to price your stuff. So, I decided to, I think it was the first one that I rented out. It was a 20 yarder, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to rent it. I'm going to include the tonnage.
Yeah.
We're going to go at 550.
Mhm.
We're going to go 550 for it for 2 days for the weekend,
Yeah.
and we'll see how that goes.
Mhm.
So, dropped it off. They paid us the 550. And but again, I didn't being new to it, didn't do a lot of research on it.
Mhm.
Didn't say what you can or cannot put in there or none of that stuff. So, it was around this time, it was around this time in 2023, that because that's what we got them.
Yeah.
They filled it up with nothing but leaves and yard waste
Hard waste.
but that thing was so compressed.
Oh,
When I hooked it up and I started loading it, I was like, oh man, this thing is heavy. And I went to drop it off to unload it. And when they gave me the tag, it was like 725. And I was like, okay, well, this method is not gonna work.
right.
Because at this point I'm not gonna make any money. I was already 200 and some in the red. So,
Mhm.
went up to the customer, disclosed it and told them, this is what happened. And, they made it right. We figured it out.
Mhm.
But at that point, I was like, you know what? We have to change it up.
Mhm.
So what we did, we charge flat. It doesn't matter if it's a 15 or the 20, we rent them for 350.
Mhm.
For those 350 will cover our area to drop it off and pick it up. And then it's up to you, whatever you want to put in there. As long as it's not, like appliances, tires, paints, stuff like that, we tell them, put it on the side. We do take it, put it on the side, but then we bill them at 6 cents a pound, whatever they throw in there.
Oh,
So
you do it by the pound. I
yeah.
think I wish I had done that. That's a really good idea. Yeah.
Well, I learned that way because I was like, if I drop it off, my my dumpster will generate whatever money, whatever they throw in there. So this pays for this and that pays for that.
Right.
So it just kind of like figured out. A lot of people don't understand. So when you drop it off, you kind of got to kind of explain to them.
Hmm.
And then off of that, they accept or someone, well, can you give us a rough idea? But again, a lot of people, they have different methods of billing, and
Yeah.
every day we're learning. So every day we're borrowing, ideas and changing them up a little bit, trying to find what is the best method. Because
Hmm.
at the same time, you want to help your clients out, but not at your expense. You
Right.
know what I mean? I mean, if you're having to pay for dump fees on your end,
Mhm.
like it cuts. I think it cuts from your profit.
Yeah,
You know,
and you
at
have
the
to make
moment.
a profit, and you should make a profit if it's
Right.
valuable. If you're helping them solve a problem, the
Yeah,
price should be worth what you're charging them. It just should be.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
and not everybody has trucks and dumpsters and equipment or the time, even if they do have the equipment to
yeah,
actually dispose of
especially
things.
out here where we're at, man. Our landfill here in Merced, man. Sometimes you could go out there and you can be in line for a good hour, hour and a half.
Hmm. Yep.
So if I'm a regular homeowner and it's my day off and I'm gonna go throw something away, man, I don't want to spend my day in the landfill. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
So
Hmm.
so that's where our service comes in, right? It's a convenience. You don't have to go do it. Same day service, whether it's a dumpster drop off or a dumpster pickup or junk removal, whatever you
Right.
need, we try to do that. The same day
Well,
service.
well, on top of what you mentioned about the time, if a homeowner spends the hour in line, first they got to figure out where to bring the land. They got to load everything up. They got to bring it to the landfill. They got to spend time in line, and then they might get a nail in their tire.
Yeah,
Because
it's
I've
absolutely.
run over so many nails, and it's just part of doing business. Like, all right, we got to plug the tire. Maybe we need a new one if it's a steer tire. Like homeowners now it's ruined their whole day just because they decided
Yeah,
to throw something away.
yeah. Especially if they got plans that after a certain time with the family, you're not gonna
Right.
make it because of a flat tire. Because
Yep.
you decided to go to the dump. It's kind of
Yeah.
so it's
Mhm.
happened.
Yep. And you're the
Absolutely.
professional, so you know how to get rid of stuff.
Yeah, we'll definitely take care of them.
Hmm. So you talked about how you got started. So yeah, and you mentioned a little bit about what you got going on now, but tell me more about your fleet and talk about where you're going with your business too. Like where are you at now and where are you taking it?
So our goal is we don't want to be we don't want to stay small.
Mhm.
I guess I've always had the idea of creating something bigger than I am.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying little stuff here. And when we got into this niche, I was like, you know what? If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
Mhm.
And we started by when we created Junker Holland, we're like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and make sure that everything matches.
Mhm.
From it doesn't matter what kind of vehicle it's going to get wrapped. We're going to put the decals. We're going to add the accent colors, and that's kind of what we did. So that's my whole thing is like, if you see me down the road,
Mhm.
you know who we are because, everything looks the same.
Yeah.
And we carried that now into what we did with A1 Junk Express, after we rebranded, we changed the colors a little bit. So, but the concept is still staying. We want everything to look the same. Um, Uniforms to look the same. Our shirts, with our logos, and everything. That way,
Yeah.
when people see us, they know who we are.
Mhm.
But I'm still kind of small to the point where I still only have 3 cans. You
Mhm.
know, um, we have a Max D system, with an F550 pulling it.
Mhm.
We have a little Isuzu NPR, for the junk removals.
Yep.
But that's what we have now. Now, what we want, I think if I would get up to 20 cans, I think I would be fine. If I would have 20 cans, and my goal is to have two little Isuzus, one of them to run north and one of them to run south, and
Okay. Yeah.
create those two routes. So that's like my small idea of kind of what I want. But eventually, I want to go ahead and once I get that rolling, I want to copy and paste that system somewhere closer to the Bay Area and another one closer down south and have 3 different locations, you know,
Wow. Yeah.
so that we can service throughout California.
That's a great idea.
It's kind of what I want. So it's just kind of like whatever I build here in our town of Atwater, just
Mhm.
kind of copy and paste in a different town with the same method. Still within driving distance for me, like a couple hours here, a few more hours down south. But I could still run it. Go check on them throughout the day, spend a day over there, spend a day over there, all through the same week, make sure everything's getting ran. So that's kind of like my goal. At the same time, with our new colors, with the orange and blue, just everywhere they see us, I want them to oh, that's
I
who we are.
like it. I
Yeah.
like your colors. They look cool, man. So
Thank you.
everything's got your orange and blue on it?
Not yet. We did the dually. That one was wrapped. We took the stickers off. We put the A1 Junk Express, the X and the number on that one. Now on the F550, we were talking with our friend, Ramsey over at Splitfires, that what we want to do is kind of create something more catchy. Our trucks are black, they're like a matte black, like
Yeah.
in our logo, our colors would stand out. But I
Right.
think
They
we
would.
would go more to like, okay, you know what? This is more like I don't want to drive and it's just a black truck. Now it's like I want to drive and I want to see his rolling billboard,
Yeah.
you know, in the truck and in the dumpsters, same thing with these Zuzus, So
Mhm.
that's kind of where we're heading. So we're working on something, to start changing the wraps into the new style that we're going to go ahead and do.
You got to market because it's hard to find customers. You got
It is.
competition, and the big companies, at least for the dumpster rental, the waste management and republics of the world, they spend so much money on marketing.
Yeah, they
Um,
do.
but
And
they,
and and
yeah,
and we don't, right? We don't.
right.
We see a lot of cars, or trucks and trailers, with this junk removal on their number, and it's like,
Mhm.
well, like we don't know who you are. And a
Yeah,
lot of people, want to know who they're going to hire. They want to know who's going to go to their house.
Mhm.
They're going to know that, hey, you know what? This company has a physical location, or
Right.
I can go and check the reviews, or
Mhm.
let me do my due diligence before I actually hire this person. A lot of
Right.
them have families, they have kids, they have belongings, and I'm
Mhm.
not trying to talk bad or say nothing about nobody, but you never know.
Right.
So I tell my clients, hey, the people that I take to your property, the people that go, I'm fully responsible, and I vouch for the people that go, right?
Yeah.
And it's part of our one of our core values, like, hey, like, we got to treat them like if it was our own
Mhm.
stuff, our own family. So, and that's kind of how we go. So
Well, and the uniform really hits home that you're professionals, that you're organized. You're not just a fly by night kind of guy. You're actually a professional organization. And yeah, I mean, I like your logo. I see you're wearing it right
thank you,
there.
man. Yeah, we
It
got
looks,
the X right here. We
yeah,
got the A1X over here. So
mhm,
yeah,
looks
so
good.
we're trying to promote the X. That way you see the X is kind of like the Nike sign, like the whoosh. It's like you see the X, like, oh, those are the junk guys. Something
Right.
like, you know what I mean. So
Mhm,
it's just kind of an idea. You kind of
mhm,
get all these ideas in your head, and you just kind of you want to make it big. You want people to say, hey, you know what, thanks to this company, I mean, we have this Thanksgiving dinner, or we have gifts for the family, or
right.
they're doing this for the community, or doing that for the community. So
Yeah.
that's our goal for coming into 26. Get involved in as much as we can,
Mhm,
and promote everything. Put everything on social media, not to kind of show off what we're doing, but engagement.
mhm,
We want to be involved. We want people. Hey, you know what? I want to have. I feel like I can trust A1 Junk Express to come out here and do a cleanup for us, whether if it's one thing or it's a full house, and create
mhm.
long-term relationships. You
Right.
know, for with contractors, real estate agents, property managements, with
Mhm.
everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that's our goal. So.
Well, it also works with recruiting because you'll get better people if you have a good look, right? Employees don't want to drive around in ugly things, right? Because
Right. Yeah. Freaking
I've
down
had
all
to
the
deal with
time.
that where people are like, "I'm not driving that truck today. It looks nasty," Or
Yeah.
I need to have a shirt that looks is clean, you
Right.
know.
I've been there. We've been there.
Yeah, but it's gonna get dirty. That's the hard
Right.
thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So we've been there, and for that reason, we try to okay, this is not gonna work. Let's change it up. Right.
Mhm.
Let's make sure everybody's clean. Carry an extra shirt. You carry an
Yeah,
extra shirt. If you get dirty, you can swap it.
right.
But you always look kind of clean. You don't want to show up, like you do a hoarder house with bed bugs and whatever whatnot, and then you're gonna go pick up a couch at this really nice house. Like you don't
Yeah,
you don't want to do that. You know
that's
what I
true.
mean? Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
you
don't
might
know.
need to change between jobs. I didn't even think about that. We kind of just sucked it up if you got dirty, like, all right, you're dirty for the day. But that's a way better, like have a backup shirt, or
Oh,
at least have a jacket you could put over.
right, or a sweater, yeah,
Yeah.
jacket or sweater, and just kind of just go get it done. But yeah, every day, with different challenges, we try to rewrite the script. Okay, you
Mhm.
know what? It's not working. Let's add this to it. And
Right.
and like I said, our goal is we're very small, but our goal is to to become pretty big, become the go-to guys here in Merced and Stanislaus
Mhm.
counties.
Right.
That's our ultimate goal.
Well, I'm rooting for you. How do
Thanks,
you,
man.
how do you, I have this question here later, but I'm going to jump to it. Like to grow, one of the big things is to get customers, and word of mouth is really big in local communities. But do you have a method you like to use to get customers, like through marketing, or where do you find them at?
So that's our how can I say what's the word I'm looking for? Because I've never done any sort of marketing. I've
Oh,
never
really?
done Google
Huh.
ads, never done Google ads. I've never done Facebook ads.
Mhm.
Um, I've never done none of that stuff. All solely it's through our Instagram page,
Really?
and our stickers and our Google page.
Hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
But again, part of growing, it's becoming uncomfortable doing the things you're not used to doing.
Right.
So 2026, I think we're going to go ahead and start getting into the ads,
Hmm.
just because we want to scale to a shit. I mean, sky's the limit.
Right.
We want to scale. So our goal is that. So it's getting uncomfortable getting into the ads, Facebook ads,
Hmm.
Google ads and stuff like that. So and a lot of that stuff, is stuff that over at the Junk Expo last week, a lot of people had a lot of good input on stuff like that. So
Yeah,
uh,
tell me about the Junk Expo. So I actually looked at that and considered
okay.
going, but I mean it's in California, so that's close to you. It's
Yeah.
across the country for me, and I have a lot. I have a lot going on here. So what kind of stuff did you learn? What was cool about it? I'm sure you had a lot of
So
experience.
it's cool, man. And I'll be honest, man. It's a second year. They started last year.
Hmm.
Went to the one last year. I went into this one. I've made really good friends. You know, Eddie from Orange Crush, Abel from Temecula Valley, Julian from Heritage Hauling. You always, every time you go, everybody's got something good, some positive to tell you,
Yeah.
something you did not know, right?
Hmm.
And the networking, and it's just big. So you get into it. Junk Rescue was out there, man. They talked about culture in your business,
Yeah.
that you never thought about.
Right.
How do you retain your employees? How do you keep them happy? How do
Hmm.
you keep them showing up? So, they got into detail with that stuff. Abel from Temecula Valley Junk Hauling, he talked about being engaged in the community. How everything, a lot of his business comes through community involvement. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you pick up a lot of these things, and when you get all that stuff and you get back to your office or your shop or wherever you're running or inside your truck,
Yeah.
you start creating all these notes of where you want, like myself, where do I want junk A1 Junk Express to go?
Right.
And for me to see those guys up there, I'd be like, hopefully one day I could have information to share to other people and I could be a speaker,
Hmm.
because
Oh yeah.
giving back, man. I mean, you give back. I mean, to the young hauler, that wants to start in, and
Mhm.
he wants to do it the right way. Whatever information we can have, man, absolutely giving it to him. So, with that and vendors, man, you see the possibilities, of where you can scale your business to. It's awesome, man. It's a lot of good information, a lot of positive feedback. So can't wait. Hopefully they'll have another one next year.
Yeah, well, they probably will.
Oh,
But with all those vendors there, they probably solve so many of the problems that you deal
I,
with.
yeah,
There's a lot of problems. How to get customers, how to make sure your trucks are running, how to get employees, making sure you got enough money in the bank, and there's a million different things. So, um, I'm curious, what are some of the lessons you've learned so far, like problems that you used to deal with when you first started that are like old news for you now? Like, what kind of stuff did you deal with and solve through your journey here in junk hauling?
well, So starting, my whole thing was like, well, it's just junk. You got
Yeah.
to throw it away, right?
Uh-huh.
You back up into somebody's driveway, throw away their couch, whatever they got.
Hmm.
There was, to me, there was no science,
Hmm.
right? Let's just grow it.
Yeah.
So we kept on going. But have you ever heard that saying? If you're gonna pray for rain, you got to expect to get muddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, man. If you're gonna pray for rain, man, you better get yourself an umbrella and some rain boots because we got those. And I just got out of this whole situation, this year, to where we didn't know a lot of the stuff that we didn't know, like DOT numbers,
Oh
California
yeah. Yeah.
numbers. You
Uh-huh.
know, you mess around and you're gonna find out. You know,
Compliance. Yeah,
well,
compliant government. And you're in California. That's like the worst for compliance,
it's it's
right?
it's it's all bad. So if anybody listens to me,
Yeah.
if you want to get into that, make sure you get all that first.
Right. Get your DOT
Because
numbers. Yep.
yeah, because it will set you back. So we had an incident where my brother was coming down and he got pulled over and he got sent to the scale. And
Mm-hmm.
our little truck got impounded. It was
Oh
kind of
wow.
that till now we're still kind of solving out. So we'll be okay.
Yeah.
But during that time, with the whole impounding and all this stuff, our dually, took a dump.
Oh
It
yeah.
overheated when popped the hood open. There was oil all over the motor. Something happened in there.
Mm-hmm.
So now I had dumpsters at different locations, and I had a Isuzu in jail doing some jail time at the impound yard. And so I was forced to make decisions, right? And
Right.
I was like, well, what do I need to do? And again, going into that I don't want to get in debt because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have that loan over me, and stuff like that. I decided to purchase the F550. You
Yeah.
know, we had a little bit of money saved up, so I found it. I got a good deal, and we picked it up, and that's how I was able to get my dumpsters out here. And because you had clients already calling, like, "Hey, Gabe, when I need my driveway back, like when are you picking this dumpster up?" So I didn't want to go through that. I think they were sitting at properties for me for about a week till
Mm.
I just kind of solved everything.
Yeah.
But I fixed all that stuff right there. We were able to get the F550, to start helping us with that. Getting the dumpsters, and it bought me more time to decide what I'm going to do with the F350 and get the little Isuzu out.
Yeah.
But what I learned, it's if every day you treat it like a real business, not like a side job or like a thing,
Yeah.
you will avoid a lot of these problems.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Because, for example, there's no reason why we had to go through the problems with the Isuzu, with the DOT numbers and all that stuff. There's no reason. Had I done my due diligence, but I was too busy focusing doing other side work
Right.
to finance everything that I didn't pay attention to those things.
Right.
So it's been a lot, and to say the least, if you're gonna pray for rain, man, make sure you're ready. That way you could weather the storm. I mean, whatever
Mhm.
comes, because it's good. When it's good, it's good.
Right.
But when it's bad, oh boy, it's bad.
It's bad. Yeah.
Because it comes in chunks.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we've all learned, and we all still will learn about regulations that we didn't have the right documentation for.
Right.
Um, yeah, I remember trying to figure out the DOT numbers, and it was like so confusing how to fill those forms out.
Mhm.
I was like, which trucks have to be registered, which ones don't? Because I had some that were they were small enough where we didn't have to register them. Um, but yeah, it was really confusing. So now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I did not like that mess, that paperwork mess. And I think I definitely did it wrong the first time I did it, and I had to have
Yeah.
someone help me, you know?
Yeah. So see, to say that, I mean, a lot of us think it's just like, oh, we're just gonna go haul junk and
Right,
that's it. We have an F450 or a 3500 or whatever, and then you got this big
right.
old 60-foot trailer, and you're at whatever weight capacity. You're like, you know, look into the DOTs and the
Right.
weights and all that stuff, because if you get pulled over, man, it will set you back. And
Yeah.
if you have an operation already running, and you only have one truck, that
Mhm.
will set you back, and you don't want to go through that. Take it from me.
Right.
You don't want to take that,
Well, and
so
I had a wise man explain to me that if you keep your trucks clean, like all the lights work, they're the tags are straight and they look professional, you're going to have less eyes on you. You know, you're going to have less opportunity, less times where the state troopers are going to pull you over. You know,
Right.
if you look like you're a mess, like your truck looks like it's a mess, they're going to guess that your paperwork's probably a mess too. So
Yeah.
like being a professional, it just solves so many problems. Like thinking, how do what's a professional do in this circumstance? Like
Right.
you look the part, you have your uniform, your truck's in line, your equipment is not all ratty and gross. I mean, I was there. I had dumpsters that had holes in the bottom, and just because we were just trying to put them out, and I'm after a couple incidents, I'm like, we if they have holes in it, like we're not putting it out at all. Like no way, because it's not worth the headache. I'd rather tell a customer I don't have a dumpster for you than have someone have something fall out of a dumpster and cause some damage or something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, it's making me think of all these cool things.
Yeah, man,
Oh,
it's a big old, it's not just, let me go drop off a dumpster or let me go haul some junk. It's a whole bunch of other stuff, like the stuff that, people don't see, how do you keep your employees happy?
right.
How do they keep showing up? You
That's
know,
hard.
it,
It's
it,
one of the
it,
hardest
it
things.
it's challenging. It's challenging,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Mhm.
I'll take
Well,
it.
the lucky thing is, at least in maybe I'm sure you feel this way. If I had somebody quit on me, I would have no problem jumping in the truck and doing their job.
Oh
Like,
no,
yep,
man.
I would. This is great. Like, now I can't do it for very long because the business would suffer. But if someone calls in sick or someone doesn't show up or they quit, like, I'm happy to do their job because it's fun.
Right.
Like it's you can't do it all the time because then the business doesn't grow. But I love to haul junk. I love to
Oh
drive
yeah, man.
dumpsters around.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem jumping in the Isuzu and going out, hauling junk or dropping it. I have no problem at all, man.
Right.
Uh, I actually enjoy it more than sitting down,
Hmm.
and doing paperwork. What I
Right.
do enjoy is
Exactly.
sitting down
Which
and
is what
having
you
a
probably
conversation
should
with you,
do.
Mike.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Paperwork is kind of my life at the moment, but it's got to be done. You have to
Right,
do the paperwork.
exactly.
I go
Exactly.
outside as much as I can. So we talked before about Docket because Docket's the software that we love. Are you still how is that going for you? How is your operation software working?
It's good, man. And every day, man, it's a new challenge.
Yeah.
Docket's just so big, man. It's got so many.
Hmm.
I think I'm barely like in the shallow end of the stuff that we can do.
Yeah.
And but every day, I try to mess around with it,
Mhm.
maybe an hour, 30 minutes, at least every day, try to learn something new, try to make something easier,
Yeah.
as far as the dumpsters, as far as with junk removal, because now we could implement both of them.
Hmm.
But I really enjoy it, man. And I tell people like, hey, like, what, whenever you're gonna get a CRM or whatever you're gonna do, man. I mean, get the different trials. Don't commit to one,
Right.
because you commit to one, what's gonna happen? You're gonna put all your information there, then you're gonna
Right.
come and find out you don't like it. You're gonna go into another one, and that's gonna be like a little setback because now you got to transfer all your information because you don't want to lose your clients. You
Right.
want to keep your clients' emails information
Hmm.
for future business.
Hmm.
So when I came across Docket, I really liked, you know, all the information that was out there. I liked the onboarding process,
Hmm.
and the thing that really got me was that if I have any questions, I send them an email.
Hmm.
If depending the time of the day, I'll either get a response that day or first thing in the morning, next day,
Yeah, they were pretty
all
quick
the time.
responding.
I've never had an issue where like I'm kind of waiting, like, oh, let me reach out to them again. Like, no, they'll resolve your problem or let you know how to get about it.
Right.
So with that right there, to me, I'm like, this is where I'm gonna stay.
Hmm.
Like I'm good right here. I'm learning the system day by day,
Yeah.
and eventually, we're gonna get to where we can master it,
Hmm.
and become Docker lifers.
Right.
But I tell people like, hey, Docker might not be for you. You might want to use something else,
Right.
but try them. I mean, that way you stay with what works with you,
Yeah.
and Docket's the one that works with us. Not only that, I mean, you take it back a little bit to the event in Nashville. I mean,
Hmm.
all the information they put out there for everybody. You get to meet a lot of people like you, You know, we had a good time out there.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Luke Dotson from, Two Lakes, also
Yep.
a great guy, till today, we still chat here and there,
Mhm.
but you get a lot of good information, you meet a lot of people, and the thing is that now we're looking forward to the one in New Orleans, in
Right.
Louisiana this coming
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, I haven't signed up yet, so I'm debating because we want to go as vendors, so we're
Yeah.
debating what level to be because there's a whole bunch of levels,
Okay.
and I'd love to speak and talk about a topic that people struggle with. So my background is the finance background, so
Right.
that's probably what I would talk about.
I'll
But
tell you what, Mike, a lot of us don't know about finances,
mhm.
when it comes down to business. So it would be a great topic.
Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
can show what a financial statement should look like and how to make decisions on it.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
it was a fun time. The last year was the first one, so we were hesitant to overextend because we didn't know what to expect.
Right.
We really liked it a lot, and I met a lot of cool people. So Max Co Dumpsters was there,
Oh,
and
yes.
Clayton Roll, like
Yep.
rolling ops.
See, those are some big time guys, I mean, right there, man.
I
Max
know,
actually, he kind of reached out, he's going to have an event in Tampa,
I know, right?
I believe
So
in March. Yeah. So we're definitely going to try to make it out there.
yeah,
You know?
I'm debating about it. It looks like it's going to be fun,
Yeah.
but it's during tax season, and so that's when people
Oh, that's your busy time.
yeah.
Yeah.
For 2 months of the year, I don't have a life. I just, we grind away on taxes. It's
Absolutely. Yeah.
everybody wants to talk to us, which is great. It's a good problem
Right.
to
Yeah.
have, but it's our busy
Absolutely.
season. So maybe you could go for me and
Oh, definitely, man. I'll be out there. I'll FaceTime you and we
yeah.
can just walk together, Hey, Mike, come on. Come on.
I think there's going to be a bounce house. So if you could jump in the bounce house and I'll just be there with you. I'll just jump from here.
That's it, man. You could just jump from you, but I'll have you on FaceTime so you could be jumping as though you'll get
Yeah,
the effect.
exactly. Exactly. But I really appreciate what all those guys are doing. And I think, I contemplated making a community, a dumpster rental community, but you really got to be committed to make that happen. And I think that Max Co started one,
Yes.
a school group, so it's free to join. I think everyone should join it. Um,
It's a lot of good information, man. I mean, you're never gonna have all the information because what I
mhm.
don't know.
Right.
And what I know, you might not know.
Yep.
So when you're in those groups, man, I mean, you can reach out, man. I'll tell you what, man. I've reached out to Max a couple times
Yeah.
and he always replies, man,
Hmm.
right off the bat. So
Just like
you
that.
appreciate that stuff. So when you can help them out, like they're gonna have an event, if you could go out there and you could be part of it, great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course, we're gonna support them 100%.
Right.
Everybody if however
Yeah.
we can. But you create those events, again, more engagement, more networking. You're gonna meet somebody else. They're gonna give you another nugget, and you're gonna, oh man, like that's gonna help me out to do this.
Right.
And those are the things, man. If you're planning to scale your business and grow, I recommend you go to those events because you're gonna get a lot of good information.
Right.
If you don't, if you just want to keep it as a side hustle, then that's also fine.
That's all
But
right.
yeah, you could, everybody needs everybody. So, but in
Yeah.
our case, yeah, we want to grow.
Well, you mentioned the nuggets, which is completely true. I also think of how there's levels in business and there's levels in where you can take it, and you can't really skip levels. You can't go from a startup to like a $50 million company. Like
Yeah,
there's levels between that, and
right,
every level you have to grow and learn. And um, most of those levels are bottlenecks. There's bottlenecks keeping you from going to the next level. And at these events and in these communities, you're going to find someone that's at a level higher than you, and they can show you how they opened up that bottleneck. So when you first start, it's a side hustle. You just need more work. Like I just need enough work so I can make this my full-time gig, And after it's your full-time gig, then how do I make it so I can get enough equipment and work that's consistent so I can hire a team because once you have a team, you got to have steady cash flow.
you got it exactly.
Employees are not going to work for a paycheck, you know, whenever. Like they need to get paid.
On the
Some
dot,
people need to be paid every week. Some people will wait 2 weeks, but my experience is every week they got to get paid whether you have enough work or not, to feed yourself.
right?
So there's levels to it and open up bottlenecks. So that's that's what I like to see people do, is progress through that and identify what's the thing that's slowing you down, and how do you open that up? You know, like
Yeah. So go ahead.
for yeah, so sometimes it's equipment. Like you're getting enough calls and you're like, I just can't. Like that's a good sign that you're ready to buy more equipment. Is I'm getting more calls than I can handle, so now I need to get more dumpsters, or I need more trucks, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Correct, correct. And another thing about that, to touching about those events, you get to meet people in different areas.
Hmm.
You come across a job, that's a few hours away from you. But hey, you know what? During that event, you met somebody that lives in that area. So
Yeah.
you shoot them that lead over there, they end up getting the job, or they
Mhm.
work with you, collaborate, or whatever you do. But that just grows your relationship with that person,
Mhm.
right? So they'll return the favor later, or whatever, however it works. But
Right.
then what it does, Mike, it creates those one-on-one conversations, right? Every so often, right?
Right.
Hey, what? Let's talk. Let's how you doing? How I'm doing? I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling with this. Hey, I
Mhm.
recommend this. But it creates that. If you don't have that, I mean, and nobody in your circle is doing what you're doing, you're
Right.
not going to have an idea of who's going to fix your diesel if you don't know any diesel mechanics, or
Dude, that's you got to have a diesel mechanic. I
yeah,
always had two on standby because one of them is not going to be available. You know.
right. So
Mhm.
so that's the importance of those things, you know what I mean? Networking with people, knowing what you don't know, and understanding, so
Right.
that you could move forward and try to scale however big you want to get.
Yeah.
If it's 3 cans, if it's 100 cans,
Mhm.
if it's whatever you want, so it's just the importance to me. That's what it is.
Right. Well, related to growing, like, what does it take for you to go to 4 cans? Like, when do you buy your next can, or do you buy it more than one? You buy seven. Like,
So
what's the trigger
I
for that
think
for
I'm
you?
gonna buy them. I think I'm gonna buy them in increments of three.
Okay.
I think because right now we have two 14s and we have 120.
Hmm.
So I think I want to buy another three. I think I want to add another 20 and get two sevens.
Yeah.
That way we have three different sizes,
Okay.
right? If they want, we get a lot of stuff for concrete, dirt, stuff like
Mhm.
that. So, to have the little smaller ones, it will
Right.
work perfect because Mike, I've had some horror stories, with cans
Mhm.
full of concrete and all kinds of
Oh,
it's all bad stories for a different day.
yeah.
But
No, I
you
love the
bring it up.
stories. You can
Ah,
tell
there
me.
you go.
Yeah, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me your
We rent
concrete
we
story.
rented out a dumpster, right? And whenever we do the 14s, our maxis, they have a crease like around the 2 foot mark, somewhere around there.
Yes.
And I
Yep.
always tell them, hey, you know what? If it's going to be concrete, just make sure it's under this line.
Right.
Don't go over.
And they
And,
always listen, right? Every time.
oh yeah, oh absolutely, man. They always listen. And I go out there and go pick it up, and that thing was topped off. And
Oh my gosh. It was, did
I
it
was like,
top with
man,
concrete?
this is not gonna work. Like, what are you doing? I mean, you a 14-yard dumpster, man. I mean, when it's the ground, man, it's to about your chest level, so you could throw stuff right over it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these guys figured, man, we could just load it and throw it in there. I mean,
It
it was
fit. It fits in the
yeah, it fit.
dumpster.
This thing happened in the town called Modesto, and it was just all bad, man. I was like, man. So well, we ended up talking to them and told them, hey, like, you know what, we're not gonna pick it up
Hmm.
because that thing's gonna bust our. I told them what I could do for you is bring you another dumpster, and
Hmm.
you guys can throw half on the other one,
Yeah.
or we're just gonna dump it all here, man, because I'm not gonna.
If you
You're
if you can even
ruining
lift
your
it,
equipment. You're ruining your equipment, and on top of that, God forbid you get pulled over. I
right,
mean, you're gonna be all that way. Come on, man.
you're gonna get a big ticket for that.
Absolutely, man.
And
Absolutely.
if they catch you hauling it, you don't get to finish the haul. Like you
Right?
you
Yeah.
you're in trouble right that second. So you
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
They might make you stop moving the truck.
Oh
So
yeah.
now you have the illegal truck with too much weight on the road. Like major problems.
Yeah. So learn the rules, man, and play by the rules, man. You don't want to mess around and find out
Nope.
because it will definitely slow you down.
Hmm. Yeah, I've had lots of those circumstances. I've The first really bad can I had that was overweight. We dropped a 20-yard off at a bank, and the bank had out of town roofers come in,
Oh,
and so whoever we set it up like way in advance. Like the dumpster sat there for like a week before anyone got up on site, And then in a day, that thing went from empty to full, and they filled it to the max with shingles. 20-yard container
Wow.
filled to the max with shingles, and our truck, I think it could pick it up, but it as soon as you put it in the truck, it was touching the tires, like the wheel well was touching the
Yeah.
tires, and we're like, we can't haul this, so we put it back down, and they were gone. The customer was completely gone.
Oh my God.
Um, I think we were smart enough to have a credit card on file, and we said we will manually move it ourselves because I was a new owner. So I manually moved everything from the dumpster into another dumpster, and we did that half and half thing.
Yeah.
And even with that, it still was overweight. It was still too heavy, but we didn't know it was overweight until we got to the scale. Um, and we charged our credit card for a second dumpster. But man, it took me like 3 hours to move all that stuff,
Yeah.
you know?
It kind of ruins your day, right? Maybe
Right,
even your week. You got other jobs that are on schedule.
right.
And now you can't even complete those because now you're over here, trying to figure out how you're gonna get all this stuff
Right.
out of there.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
it at nighttime. It was like after work. I should have been home with my family. You
Exactly.
know,
So even
yep,
worse, it took time away from your family.
yep. I tried to have a team member help me, but like after like 30 minutes, I could tell I was removing the goodwill I had with him. I was like,
Yeah.
you go home. I'll finish this myself.
Man, that must have been hard, man.
Yeah,
Like
it was a good workout though.
oh,
Like
there you
just
go.
I put my earbuds in and I just cranked away, and
You know,
I just learned the lesson. Don't give them a big can. Like you said, like if they're gonna do something heavy, just give them a short can. They can't
yeah.
overfill it.
So you want to give them options. So that's one of the reasons why we want to get the little cans and just be like, here, this
Right.
this is what you get. You know, okay,
Right.
go from there. But
Yeah, man.
and and that's okay, man. I mean, they don't understand, man. They feel like that's what it is. I can fit everything in there. They feel like it's not going to be heavy. Your equipment should pick it up because it's an equipment. But
Right.
no, equipment side, they also have capacities.
Hmm.
So we got to make sure we don't exhaust them because then it's going to be all bad.
Yeah. Well, they have. There's a reason why the laws say you can only put so much on the road because of
Exactly,
safety and wear and tear on your equipment.
exactly.
Mm. Well, I got one more question for you for the podcast here.
Okay.
Like, what hobbies do you love, man? What kind of stuff do you like to do when you're not all in waste?
Well, um, I love football.
Yeah.
Um,
American football.
yeah,
American football.
yep. We talked about it, Mike. I mean, we had a conversation about you being a Buffalo Bills fan.
Yes,
Oh, and
I
I'm
am.
a Raider fan,
Yeah.
California. But oh man, it's been a hard road for the Raiders, man. But
I
that's what
know.
I do, man. I love watching football with my kid.
Mhm.
We've gone. We have a little thing that we're gonna go see the Raiders play. Not in Vegas. We're gonna go to different stadiums. So we've been to a few.
Really?
We've been to MetLife over in New York. We've gone to Detroit, Kansas City. Obviously Los Angeles. We've been out here. But yeah, that's our thing. Save up a little bit of money. Go see them play on a primetime game. We were gonna go to Denver this year, but they're doing so bad, man. I don't want to go. I told my son I'm not going. You know, hey Mike, I lost you. Like I see you, but I don't hear you. Oh, there you go. Get the duster out.
Yeah. I got
Okay, there.
a
Yeah,
different microphone. It's got this fuzzy thing on top of
I
it.
thought you were gonna start dusting all the furniture. I was like,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
he got the duster out.
We clean lots of ways, lots of different ways.
There you go.
What I was just saying though is, as a longtime fan of a team that sucked for like I don't know 20 years,
Yeah, yeah.
you got to like other stuff. That's why Buffalo Bills fans jump through tables. Like it's very entertaining.
Uh, that's a good place to go, man. My son wants to go watch a game in Buffalo,
Oh,
but
they're
yeah, but he wants to go in the wintertime, like in December.
the
He wants to
tickets
get the
are
whole experience out there.
yeah. Well, I guess they're good now, but it used to be really cheap to go watch them in December because they were bad. So they weren't going to go to the playoffs, and the weather's so horrible. So for like $20, you could get really good
Oh
seats,
man.
but not anymore. That's not today anyway. But I just went to the Bills played against the Panthers, and I'm very close to Charlotte now because I'm a Yankee that moved south. That's what they call
Yeah.
us. And there were so many Bills fans at the Panthers stadium. They were jumping through tables in the parking lot.
Oh man,
The
that Bills
mob.
Mafia, man, is no joke, man. You know, they're out there, man, jumping through tables in the middle of December, man, with no
Yeah.
shirts on. God.
Yeah, I love football though. I
Yeah.
I, I was watching it last night, even though it's not a game I care about. The Dolphins were playing against the Ravens. And the Ravens, they are so talented. I can't believe they're only
It it
well, now they won. They're 3-5 now.
but the record doesn't reflect the how good they are, man. It's
Uh,
just they're going through a slump, man.
right.
You know,
They're,
but
they're I think they're going to be competitive. They still might make the playoffs. It's still early, but
it's a,
man,
it's a season, man, where like anybody can take it, man.
right.
Like it's not like other seasons that it's kind of like
Mhm.
leaning towards one side. No,
Yeah.
it's kind of up for grabs, except for us. You know, the Raiders. I think we're already talking about first round draft picks and the number one pick. You know, I
I'm
don't know.
sorry. I would
It's
love to see the Raiders do good because they had such a great team. Like they had the dynasty for a little while. You
yeah,
know.
we were great, man. I was a fan since I was 7.
Wow.
So I
Yeah.
kind of grew up, you know, with liking the Raiders, you know, and it just kind of, you know, still today, man. It's
You dress up? Do you wear like spikes and armor and paint yourself gray?
you know what? I haven't gone that crazy, man. You know, but I do want to. I do want to one day at least. You know, whenever we go to a game, like, hey, you know what? Like the camera going and be like, hey, let's focus on that guy.
Yeah, looks
You
like a
know,
Gabe.
there's Gabe right there. You know, so well, maybe one day I will. But we do, like I said, you know, God willing, you know, we're gonna go visit every stadium and with my son and just kind of make it a thing. You know,
Yeah. Well,
that's
I think you should do that. That's pretty noble because there's a lot of stadiums and that's a lot of travel. But if you do it,
this.
over 10 years or so or
Yeah.
more, you can hit them
Yeah.
all.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, you could you can do it. You just gotta get it in there. And you know, one of the good things, man, it's you get to go and you meet people, right?
Right.
Like you know, when we were in Kansas City, you know, it was good because you know we showed up with Raider sweaters and a
Yeah.
lot of people knew we were there for the Monday night game and you know they welcomed us. You know
But
they actually you know gave us a good spots you know to go out you know and have lunch or dinner you know which
well,
they were
that's
really
nice of
good.
them.
When we were in Detroit, man, we met 4 gentlemen. They're older guys, you know. I want to say maybe mid 60s, early 70s.
Mhm.
We're friends for a long time, but they've been Lions fans forever.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, like we don't even feel bad for you guys for losing because we lost that game. Like we don't even feel bad for you guys. We've lost for so many years. We're enjoying the wins. But we were at like a little old hot dog stand. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Everybody just kind of chilling, hanging out right there. But like I said, you know, it's you meet a lot of people from all over the country, man, and a lot of people they're great people, man. You know, and that's the thing. You know, you go everywhere you go, you meet new friends, and you know, just like we did in Nashville, man. And I want to say we
Yeah.
got a good friendship, you know, and a lot
Right.
of good information. You know, appreciate everything you do for us, Mike.
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I love hanging out with you and talking. And so let's wrap up the podcast now, and then I want to talk to you about some more specifics about your business, and
Perfect, man.
maybe we could dive into Docket again.
Oh, there you go, man.
Yeah, but thanks for jumping on the pod. I'm gonna stop the record button. So again, everyone can get a hold of you. Why don't you say your phone number again so they can give you a call?
My phone number is area code 209-800-3800. That's our phone number. And my Instagram, I don't even know. I think it's like A1 underscore Junk Express or something like that. Let me double check. Just
Yeah,
I don't even know if you can post it in there, like a little link if they want
I'm
to
sh-
look at our
I'm
stuff.
sure we can. I think it's A1 Junk Express, but no E. It's Express.
Yes, yeah,
Xpress.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone hit up Gabe if you've got some junk removal needs because he's gonna take care of you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Waste to Wealth. We sure do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you connect with us on social media and subscribe to the show wherever you consume podcasts. If you feel so inclined, please leave us a review and tell a friend about the show. Until next time.